Alright, part 2, here we go. Thesis 6. Authority is earned by restraint. Real authority shows itself in what you refuse to do. Anybody is able to summon intensity. Anyone can sit here and speak with certainty. The practitioner who is fit for the work is the one who can say no. Saying no to lust for control. Saying no to vanity, to rage, to the hunger to be seen, to the thrill of transgression for transgression's sake. Restraint makes a practitioner safe enough to be useful. Restraint also makes a practice credible. Without restraint, every single act you do becomes suspect, because it could have been driven by impulse. With restraint, even harsher acts, banishing, binding, exorcism, confrontation, can be done without cruelty. There is no need for cruelty. You need to cultivate refusal. Set boundaries in advance and keep them. Refuse operations and spells that would make you feel important, big person on campus. Refuse to weaponize your knowledge. Refuse to build a following by feeding paranoia. Refuse to speak about things you cannot support. Refuse to use the idea of the sacred just as an argument-winning device. Understand, the art, magic, is full of opportunities to become a tyrant in the miniature. Restraint prevents that. Thesis 7. Your tongue is an altar. Speech binds, consecrates, and stains. The mouth is where our vows are born and where all of our betrayals begin. Every durable tradition understood that words carry weight. Not metaphorically, real. Speech forms your intention, and then commits your will, and then moves others. If your words cost you nothing, and they're just choo-choo-choo-choo-choo, they carry very little force. If your words are used for merely performance, then they train you to just be hollow. If you use your words as weapons, they train you into cruelty. Your tongue is your first wand. Your conscience in your acts is the first circle you cast. Take vows seriously and sparingly. Stop exaggeration. Stop with claims you can't carry. Stop speaking in ways that let you escape the responsibility of what you said later. Learn, if you're praying, learn to pray with plainness and precision. If you're adjuring, learn to do it without theatrics. Let your yeses be heavy as stone, and your no's be stable as a mountain. A practitioner whose speech is untrustworthy will eventually find their ritual speech to also become hollow, because the soul does not separate the two. 7. And this goes back to our very first ideas of magic and going forward. Ritual is a legal act in the unseen court of the other. Rites often speak in the grammar of law. Okay, you've got petition, adjuration, accusation, jurisdiction, sentence, dismissal, seal. It's all legalistic. The structure shows up across cultures because it matches how authority functions. A claim is made, a witness is invoked, boundaries are set, and consequences are declared. The practitioner enters a court whether they admit it or not. Careless ritual speech is essentially perjury, because you're swearing by forces you refuse to respect. Empty adjurations train your mouth into falsehood. Being reckless with conjuring stuff will train the will into complete arrogance. The unseen responds to seriousness. Because when you are serious, and you take your rights serious, it shows a level of coherence. Treat every working like you're filing it in a court. What is your standing? By what authority do you speak? What are the terms? What are the boundaries? What is dismissed? How is it dismissed? What is sealed and how is it sealed? 9. Names function as authority. Names are a form of lineage. They're a form of jurisdiction. To speak a... Are we back? Okay. My phone almost died mid-video. Names are a lineage and their jurisdiction. To speak a name, whether it's a person's name, a god's name, a spirit's name, the name of a concept, is to enter into an unbroken chain that has a tradition of use, a history of meaning, and a responsibility not to cheapen it. Names can shelter a practitioner. Since they anchor intention and they'll align your act with a known concrete authority. Names can also burn the practitioner if you are frivolous about how you speak them. Treating names as toys invites disorder because it teaches the operator that authority is just set dressing. Treating names as authority obligates you to act like somebody who invoked authority. To act with humility, with caution, with responsibility towards the consequences. You learn what you are saying. You study the names you use. You keep a record of where you learned them and how you apply them. You avoid indiscriminate name hoarding. You build a limited vocabulary rather than an endless catalog you have no connection to. You prefer a few names spoken with weight over 1,000 decorative names. Your mouth needs to be a place where the words you say mean something again. 10. Purity is readiness. Purity is the discipline for attention. Abstinence of a thing strengthens refusal. Washing trains the body to obey the will. These acts build readiness so that when the moment comes, when you're afraid, when you're angry, when you're tempted, you can still act with clarity rather than impulse. Purity also limits self-deception. It reveals what it is you crave and what you use to numb yourself. A practitioner who never practices refusal will have no defense when power offers you a shortcut. Purity in some form becomes practical and modest. Keep your space clean so that your mind can focus. Keep your body steady that you can endure. Keep your appetites governed enough that you can tell the difference between a spiritual need and a hunger for sensation. Use fast and abstinence as training. Let the training show up where it counts. Learn patience, generosity, honesty, and courage. 11. Time is part of the rite. Sacred time means sacred character. Repetition shapes a practitioner into someone reliable. Calendars, hours, fasts, weekly acts, seasonal rites. These pull practice out of just being a mood and put it as an obligation. Time protects the art also from melodrama. A person can fake being in religious fervor for a week, but a person will reveal themselves over months. Consistent practice is the slow destruction of these fantasies. It builds a level of humility because you are forced to meet yourself repeatedly with nothing to hide behind. Keep a simple cycle. Daily, do a short office, renew a vow. Weekly, do a work of mercy, study with your notes, cleanse. Monthly, a longer rite of repair, reorientation. Seasonally, a rite that marks change and binds you to the year. You don't need it to be complex, you just need to stick to it. I don't know if we'll get the last two here. We're going to actually do the last two in a final part because I'm not going to try and squeeze these ones in. So we'll be back for part 3, Thesis 12 and 13.